Earlier today, I spoke with Donald Trump, who was in Fort Myers, Florida. So I have your statement on the terror over the weekend. I'm just going to read one sentence. Quote, "I will bring an end to these senseless acts of violence. They're wrong to say that we're in a fight about narratives. These terrorists pose an existential threat to our country, our values, our way of life." I don't know if anybody can bring an end to individual acts of violence, you know? I mean, I don't think it's possible. Am I wrong?
Well, one thing you have to do is degrade. What's happening is they are going around and they feel emboldened and they feel wonderful, and all of these young people in our country and other countries are looking up to ISIS because ISIS continues to taunt the United States. They started off in a small area. They're now in 28 countries, Bill. 28 countries. Think of it. This is during Hillary Clinton's tenure. 28 countries, it was just reported. And I want to tell you, that is disgraceful. So you have to bring them down, and you have to bring them down fast. You know, the young people in our country and other countries, they're looking up to these people. They have respect for these people. It's like, let's put it this way, they're getting good public relations because it looks like they're beating the United States, or certainly like the United States can't beat them.
Right, and it's certainly a psychological war as well as a physical war. But Western Europe hasn't really helped out, and I mean, that's going to be a part of the equation for the next president because Mr. Obama really doesn't. Mr. Obama said today, I don't know whether you're aware, that his strategy is fine. You know, just wear them down, wear them down. We don't need any more action on what he's doing. It's as we've defined here, the strategy of acceptable losses. Now, another thing you said that was very controversial is that you want to profile. You want to profile Arab or Muslim men. How would that work?
Well, then we have no choice. Look, Israel does it, and Israel does it very successfully.
They do it at the airport.
You want to do it.
They do it at the airport.
It's not, well, they do it. They do it. And when they see somebody that they'd like to talk to, that they'd like to look at, that they'd like to maybe open up their satchel and take a look what's inside, they do it. And they don't like to do it. I don't like to do it, but we have to be, you know, you have a woman who's 87 years old in a wheelchair from Sweden, and we have to look at her if we're going to look at somebody else. It's ridiculous what's going on.
So what would you do, though? Do you have a vision?
So politically correct.
Do you have a vision of how that profiling would work?
It works where if we see somebody that we think there could be a problem at airports and other places, you talk to them and you see what's going on.
But I think they do that now.
We don't do that.
You know, look, the guy, the alleged bomber here in New York, lived over a chicken stand his father owns in New Jersey. I mean, come on. And the guy out in Minneapolis or in that area, St. Cloud, he's a 20-year-old college student. So I mean, these are just people who are loons. They just lose it. And I don't know if we could ever stop that.
The guy over the chicken stand brought litigation, a lot of litigation against different people, and I'll bet you that's why he was on no list. You know, he was on no list. They probably didn't want to put him because they didn't want to get sued. So they probably saw he's a litigious guy, and they don't want to get sued, so they left him alone. Who knows what the reason is? But whatever the reason is, it's no good. We have to end this. It's horrible. And one thing I will say, I mean, I think they have gained great respect for ISIS and the leaders of ISIS, and you see it all the time. And they're being radicalized. And, Bill, it's going to get worse with this administration, certainly with the way it's gone, and with Hillary Clinton, who's so weak. And I get a kick where Hillary Clinton says, I will this and I will that. What's she been doing for the last 30 years? Number one, she voted for the war.
I'd like to know,
what's she been doing for the last 30 years?
I'd like to know what her strategy or how it departs from President Obama. Now, she said today, because of your profiling comment, she said that you are a, quote, sergeant of recruitment for Muslim fanatics, that once they hear you say, we're going to come get you and profile you and doing it, then they want to sign up. How do you answer that?
It's just words, Bill. You know, it's words given by Madison Avenue advertising agency. She's spending hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, tremendous, vast amounts of money in advertising against me. They're talking about my strongest thing is my temperament, and they talk about my temperament. They put 10 things on a board, and they said, oh, let's go after him for temperament. It's my strongest thing, according to the people that know me best. I won't even say it myself. I think maybe even if I was going to say it, my temperament is the best.
Well,
I know how to win.
You just did say it yourself, though, just to point it.
Okay,
but I want a little more definition. When you say my strongest suit is my temperament, What does that mean to you?
Well, I know how to win. I know how to win. I've been winning. I do win. Even in sports, I win. And we don't win. Our country doesn't win. We don't win a trade. We don't win. We can't beat ISIS. Can you imagine General Douglas MacArthur or General Patton? Can you imagine? They're spinning in their grave right now when they see the way we fight. We announce that we're sending certain people over here at a certain time. Everything's political. It's very, very sad. Then we bombed the Syrian troops. You saw that over the weekend. We bombed. I guess we killed more than 80 troops, and now Russia's absolutely furious at us. But we bombed the wrong people. I mean, we're like the gang that couldn't shoot straight. Our country, with this leader, is the gang that couldn't shoot straight. That's what it is.
All right. That's an old Jimmy Breslin book. Final question in this segment. I don't want to talk to you about the debates. When you say that you're going to profile certain Muslims, are you ever worried that the peaceful Muslims, and there are millions of American, you know, we don't have a big problem here with Muslims like they do in Europe, in France. We don't have that big problem where they're ghettoized and they don't like their country and police can't go into the neighborhoods. You know the problem in Europe. We don't have that. Are you worried that sometimes when you say these things that peaceful Muslims will be the victim of backlash, the victim of people just lumping everybody into the terror jar?
Well, first of all, I never said the term Muslim. You did. You told me Muslims. I didn't say that. I'm saying you're going to profile people that maybe look suspicious. I didn't say they were Muslims.
But how could they look suspicious?
I said,
I mean, how?
I don't know. These are experts. That's what they do. They profile. You go to Israel and they should study, because Israel's done a phenomenal job at this, and they profile. And they're not happy about it, but they do it. And people aren't complaining about it. But we have to profile.
But it's almost 100% of the terrorism now is Muslim fanatics, almost 100%. You're not going to be profiling guys with leather jackets who, you know, with blue eyes at this point.
Honestly, whatever it is, but I'm not using the term Muslim. I'm saying you're going to have to profile. We're going to have to start profiling. And it's a, you know, I don't know if it's that bad, but certainly it's not a wonderful thing. But we have a country to keep safe, and we're not going to keep our country safe. You see this happening, and you know and I know it's going to get worse.